What's up, Grizz Nation? I'm Meghan Triplett, and we have a special edition of 3 Point Stands this time. We're presented by Mountain Dew, but instead of 3 points, I'm going to have three wonderful women of the organization. So I got my girl, Kelcey Wright Johnson, who's joining us, and we are going to be interviewing, you see her right now, the Grizzlies assistant coach, Niele Ivey. We're calling this our women's edition special, right?
Yes, last day of Women's History Month, so excited to be on.
I can't keep up with day of the week it is, but what I do know is today caps off the month of March. It's been a tough month, but we're going to talk about just some celebrations. It was Women's Month. And as I know we didn't do as much as we wanted to do to celebrate the month, but we did do some things and it was a special time. So let's just first start with Neil. Like, why is Women's Month so special to you?
It is so special. Just it allows me just to kind of celebrate women, to empower women, and you see, so many women, strong women that have been vital in my life, my role models and mentors, and it's just awesome to have. I wish it was every month and not just designated as one month, but women have helped raise me and my biggest supporters and role models. So it's just a time to just celebrate women and empower women and just just we're amazing. It's just I love just being to honor women for the entire month.
I think it's so important to talk about empowering women and kind of like it's a whole month to like highlight those trailblazing women and like honor the women who have kind of paved their way. But I think being in quarantine and having like so much time to think, it's also a time like I got to reflect so much on the work that like still needs to be done, which I kind of took the last at least like week to just think about. Yes, we've come so far and those women that have paved the way have been so amazing, but like also we got some work to do still.
We definitely do.
Yes.
And when Kelcey, you mentioned about like the work that needs to be done, but throughout the month, we had our Her Time to Play clinic, and just even seeing like all the little girls like faces light up to be on an NBA court, and then even just them just saying that I didn't know what career or what I could do and where that it could take me, and thinking about there's a woman that's an assistant coach right here in Memphis, Tennessee. And Niele, I mean, the last time we talked, we did our Audi 101. You've gotten a lot of months in this position. What has it been just like over like for you as a woman?
It's been incredible. I think the city of Memphis, they've embraced me since I stepped in the city, and the guys, the staff. I'm around incredible, bright, talented people here. And like you said, like it's just for me to be being a trailblazer, being the first female to be an assistant coach. I'm honored. It's been a blessing to be here, and I've learned so much, and I'm just excited to be here. And I know that my opportunity here is going to open up more doors for more women. I think I'm the 11th NBA coach, NBA female NBA assistant coach, and that just speaks volumes. And like you said, like we still have a lot of work to do, and but still, for me, just being part of making history is really important. And I'm blessed to be in this role.
And yeah, you were, I saw that article. Was it ESPN magazine or whatever, where they featured all 11 females? That was amazing. That was so cool.
It was so amazing. I think at the time, usually when you do interviews or articles, you never know how they're going to turn out. And I just thought they did a phenomenal job. Of course, highlighting us this month. It was an incredible response. It was so positive, the response that we had. I thought the pictures were great. For me, even listening to people, reading the stories of the other women, because I knew most of them, but there were some women that I didn't know, and just kind of reading their journey, to me, it was inspiring also. So I just thought that was really special, and I was excited to be a part of that.
I have to ask, with those 11 women, you're in an amazing group of women that we have in the NBA. When you travel to all the different teams for these away games, what are those conversations like when you guys get a chance to get together and talk?
They're great. I think it's almost like we have a sisterhood. So when we play each other, before, pregame, we're always like going to try to talk to each other and just introducing ourselves if we're just meeting for the first time, and just, kind of going back and forth of asking what does each other need, talk about your experiences, just being a support system. I feel like we're all like that every time we see each other. And I like to just take pictures because I just think it's, cute to capture the moments always, meeting women, and just kind of, again, celebrating them. But they're great talks. We talk about scouting, we talk about the journey, talk about the interviewing process, talk about, just women in general and whatever each other needs. So it's a really good support system we have.
You mentioned kind of like when you guys talk, you talk about, like what each other needs. What are some of the things that come up? Like what do you guys need that would be different than a male coach?
I think just like, if it's workouts or I think initially it's actually just asking the question, like, if you ever need anything, I'm a phone call away. It's mostly like that. Like, if you need to talk, if there's, things that you just don't feel like that you might feel more comfortable talking to, to that person. That's more kind of what we talked about, and just kind of being, again, like a support, like a sounding board if we ever need anything. But to be honest, like, I've been completely supported here in Memphis. So it's just nice just to have, just kind of have our female talks a little bit, just to introduce ourselves and just kind of get to know each other more so than just being a name on the roster.
And you talk about the support that you've had here in Memphis. I mean, when you have players and coaches and an organization, a city that surrounds you like that, what is it like to have, especially you see Jaren Jackson Jr., he does so much for the women's community. And, Ja has talked about it, especially with, having a daughter, and he knows that there's more to do. What is it like to just be in an organization, a city with that type of support?
Oh my God, it's amazing for us to have such a young team. I think the support they have for women and just women in sports, I think is amazing. I know Jaren's been raised very well. His mother is part of the WNBA. She's had long ties with the women's basketball game. So I think that he's just been around the sport, been around women. He understands the value of women. But it's really nice just to have so much support for the guys. You see online, Jaren and Ja, they're really supportive of the women's game. I love that. And they're just great. Like you said, like the support of the city. I mean, from the moment I stepped in the city, it's almost like everyone has been just really, really amazing to me. So I'm appreciative of it. It's made me feel even more comfortable because I really did step out of my comfort zone being here. Being in Notre Dame for so long, it was almost coming to a completely unfamiliar place, but it felt like home being here just with the love and support of everyone. So they definitely made me feel at home, and I feel like the guys and Coach Jenkins, the coaching staff really made me feel at home.
Let's go back, if you guys want to talk not just about Notre Dame, but talk about college women's basketball this year, because unfortunately, we're not going to see an NCAA tournament. But Meghan and I were talking yesterday, and like Sabrina is like the first word that comes to my mind. Like, she has changed the game this year.
Absolutely. I just love the fact that she's brought so much notoriety to the game. Everyone, she's a household name, so that's always going to help put the women's game on the map just by having somebody with her celebrity. Like, her celebrity has just really brought a lot of attention to the game, to the women's game. So she's incredible. I mean, I remember recruiting her, and so I wasn't surprised that the career that she had, but she's done so many phenomenal things in her career. I just really unfortunate that with this coronavirus that the NCAA had to cancel the men and women's tournament. But what she's done, the legacy that she's created in Oregon is going to last forever.
Mentioning that about the tournament getting canceled, what advice do you give any college athlete, women's or men, just especially like those seniors who have done so much, who've worked really hard? What advice could you give to them as they go through this time like the whole world is going through right now?
Yeah, like I try to just make faith over fear, because I know that everyone's going through a period of uncertainty with everything that's going on. We're in unprecedented times. We've never been through such a pandemic like we're going through. So I guess my advice would just have faith over fear. Really rely on your family and your collegiate, alumni base, your collegiate family, period. Like, just have that network, that family, and try to, stay in contact with your coaches, and just kind of use them as a support system to try to get you through. But having faith over fear, I know that we're all in this together. We're all going to support each other. It's not like just one NCAA team has been hindered by this pandemic. It's everyone. So just try to stay together and know that we're going to get through this together, will be my message.
I was thinking about this, and it's like a legitimate question. I didn't even have it like planned for this, but like, how is this going to affect? Because like the further you go along in the tournament, the more like TV time you get, the more eyes. Like, how is this going to affect like getting drafted into the WNBA? Don't you think it will?
I mean, it might for a couple, maybe a little bit of maybe not the top prospects that they already were already on the radar. But again, like I feel like in the NCAA tournament, men and women, some players maybe not on the radar shine, and that's their opportunity, last opportunities to be seen. So that might affect, some of the players that are not on, the top 10 or top 20 list. So I definitely think they might feel an effect of that. And you just never know, but that's just so unfortunate, especially like you said, for the seniors and some of the juniors that are coming out early.
It's really a tough time just for everyone. It's hard to wrap your head around what it's going to look like in a couple of months, how it's going to affect any sport, just life in general.
Right.
On a positive note of something that we saw this year, especially on the WNBA side, we saw that salary cap increase. I mean, as a former WNBA player, as a lover of women's basketball, just in general, how excited were you, and what did that mean to you when that news came out?
I was so excited. I mean, I was part of, obviously playing in the WNBA, but I've had, have had, those salaries and all the things that the women have had to go through with travel and scheduling and even just being, I was pregnant playing my rookie season, so I had to go through a lot of the things that they're fighting for, and so the fact that they came with that agreement, I feel like NECA did an outstanding job. The team, the leadership team, the president, that they did a phenomenal job of fighting for the women and having such great. The agreement is incredible. So for me as a former player, I'm just super excited for them because I know what they're going through, and I know that that's going to really, really boost so much with marketing, the just quality of life for professional women, and I'm just really, really excited and happy for them. And it's been a long time coming, so I'm looking forward to the future for the WNBA.
One of the major things that people talk about when they talk about that CBA is obviously the travel, because that was horrendous last season, and the salaries. But I think maternity leave, like you touched on it, being pregnant and playing, like that's such a huge role. Like we saw Skylar Diggins took what, like a season off and then got flack for like wanting to take another season off because she's dealing with postpartum. Like that's going to make a huge difference in these women's lives.
Absolutely. I mean, I can tell you by my own personal. I played pregnant my first summer as a rookie, and I didn't say anything because again, I didn't want to have my salary cut. So I kind of finished the season. So I understand. It's funny. I understand what Skylar went through and what a lot of mothers go through. You kind of have to be silent about it for many, many reasons. So the fact that they're going to have stability for mothers, and it will allow maybe more players to want to actually be mothers, so it's a lot of support there. So I understand because I went through it.
Oh, well, I didn't know that about you, Niele. Like, was that a tough summer for you?
That was very tough. It was tough. It was tough. But again, sometimes you just got to be a superwoman. I just wanted to make it through the season, So.
When was your son born?
What did you say?
When was your son born?
He was born in 2002.
Well, what month?
February. And I came right back. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I had him in February, and then I was in training camp in May.
Talk about superwoman. Jeez.
I almost was like, if it was a time where I wasn't really big on like documenting things or, having, footage. And I was like, that would have been something I would love to be able to share with him now. Cause I was like, literally when the doctor said I could start working out, I was in the gym like 3-4 times a day trying to get back. So I understand.
Oh, wow. I mean, we already knew you're a superwoman, but hearing that story just absolutely just like made that story go even higher than I thought. But, you have your son, you've always talked about how much of a huge support Jaden is to you. And you talked about, he kind of is what, makes you strive just to want more and to do more. Yeah. What has it been like just these last couple of months of being a mom, traveling, trying to be a mom too in the NBA, because you're always on the road, you're always busy?
Yeah, well, he was in a prep school, during the time I've been in here in Memphis. So we've been apart. It was a challenge. Obviously now he's with me in the quarantine, so I feel like I'm getting a lot of that time back from this year. But when he wasn't, it was hard just kind of being a parent remotely. But he was in a great place. You know, he had a lot of great people surrounding him in his boarding school. So I was very comfortable where he was, but it was hard being away. It was a lot of FaceTime calls, and you know, I've had some, you know, very emotional just moments of just missing him and things like that. So I try to stay busy, but like you said, like he's my motivation. It's always been my motivation. So kept me going strong by having my focus and of doing my job here, and also, you know, being there for him.
Wow. Niele, before every game, when we were playing at FedEx Forum, you sit courtside with Ja and Jaren, and sometimes your son comes and chills and sits with them too, and he's like around the same age as him. How cool does he think that is?
Oh, I think I'm more cool this year than ever. So, if, you know, teenagers, I was like, I went through a phase where he just wanted to be around me all the time, and then hit high school and then didn't want to be around me at all. So I definitely think I'm the cool mom now. But yeah, it's really cool just to have, because they're the same age. Like you said, like they're only a couple years apart. So, and Jaren and John and all the NBA players are players that he looks up to. So it was really cool for him to kind of be in their space, to kind of see how they work, and just to be in the background. It was really cool. It's going to be something that he'll always cherish.
And you know, what I've always noticed when they sit next to each other, Ja and Jaden look very similar. They do the same type of hairstyle. It is very eerie. It's like, oh.
It is so crazy. Everyone, I mean, I've been out to dinner with Jaden here in Memphis, and people will, you know, mistake him for Ja. I'm like, he's not Ja. That is not Ja. I've heard it many times. But yeah, so it's really crazy how much they look alike. But
well, let's now talk about quarantine life. You talked about, you have your son there with you, and I know it's hard to find a silver lining in throughout this whole entire process of what we're going through right now. But one of the silver linings is that you get to spend a lot more time with Jaden, your son, as we quarantine, stay at home. What has quarantine life been like for you?
It's been interesting because I'm not a cook. So every day is like a battle trying to figure out what am I going to cook today. So, but it's been good. You know, we're just trying to stay healthy and stay at home. You know, he has a lot of online classes, so that started in the last week. So he's been busy trying to you know, maintain his studies. I've been with, you know, we've had a lot of been engaged with our coaching staff and the players. So I've had the opportunity to kind of stay connected with the Grizzlies. And again, just, you know, just been cooking, cleaning, watching a lot of Netflix, a lot of rest. I've been getting a lot of rest. I'm big on self-care, so I've tried to, you know, maintain my self-care by working out, you know, try to do some type of exercise in the house, meditation, things like that, just to kind of keep myself, my self-care up.
Have you gotten into TikToks yet?
I have not gotten into, I don't have my own app, but I've done a couple videos with my son. So that's been fun. He's actually asked me to do a video. I'm like, oh, cool. I get a chance to be on it. But I've only mainly watched a lot of TikTok videos. So
it is hard to get wrapped up. I get caught up in TikTok videos, watching people's videos. But where are the videos that you've done? Are these posted somewhere?
Yeah. What dances? We want to see.
Oh no. It's on his website. It's on his app, not mine. Yeah. Hopefully on his story it goes away. I think it goes away in like 24 hours. So you would want to see that.
Now, what are you guys watching on Netflix? Have you seen Tiger King?
I watched I watched the beginning. I think maybe the first episode is interesting.
It was weird.
It's very weird. I've watched a couple things, but Uncorked, have you guys heard about that? Uncorked. It's based out of Memphis. It's like that's a good one. I like that one.
And how have you not heard of it? You love Memphis.
I know. No, I have heard it. No, I think you said Uncorked, but no, Uncorked. I've heard. I have not watched it. It's on my list. It's on Netflix. It just came out on Friday, and like this whole sort of barbecue. It's wine, but I have not watched it yet. So is it good? Is it a thumbs up?
I feel like because I recognized that it was in Memphis initially, and I was like, oh, look at the bridge, and I was like, oh, and so it was interesting to know that was based out of here. But I've tried to watch a lot of things, a lot of movies.
What's your go-to app? Is it Netflix?
Yes, and Amazon Prime. I do both.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, how has quarantine
realized I'd had Prime, honestly. Like I knew I had it, but I forgot that there was videos, movies, and I'm like, wait a minute, I have another whole opportunity to see more movies.
I had no idea that if you have Amazon Prime, like you order stuff. I didn't know it came with movies either. I just found that out like literally last week. I was like, wait a second. So I didn't know that was part of an extra bonus. I was like, thank goodness I have this.
So I was so excited. I was like, no, there's a whole nother realm of movies I can watch, So, because Netflix, I'm almost like, okay, I need some more choices, like I'm so done with all these movies. But yeah, it's been interesting trying to keep myself busy. I need to start reading a little bit more. That's my next thing, start reading more, some coaches' books.
Yeah. Now, how has quarantine life just affected you with the job as a coach? Like, how have you guys been able to stay in, communication?
Yeah, we've been on a couple of Zoom video conferences, so that's been really good because we're actually a really close knit group, and so we it's nice to be on the phone and get a chance to see everyone, see how they're doing. So we've been have had multiple Zoom video conference meetings, and then we've done the same with our guys, try to stay connected, through either just phone calls or just text messaging. But Zoom has been very beneficial for us.
I think Zoom's been beneficial for everyone. I see like everyone posting on Instagram, like big, like people have like birthday parties and stuff on Zoom now.
Zoom quarantine parties, and I went through a phase where I think it was DJ Nice. He had like a
you were on that
party one night. I'm like, this is amazing. So yeah, everyone's trying to be creative in the way to connect and kind of get through this quarantine. So I've tried to join in all the.
Have you learned anything about yourself during this quarantine? I think I've done a lot of self-reflection myself. So it's like, have you learned anything about yourself during this time of being at home?
Not really. No, but I have been, trying to, like I said, meditate, reflect, and just mostly just being appreciative of my life, of my family. I feel like this moment, everyone's taking, you can take so many things for granted. Obviously just going in the store freely, and our job, and so many things you just take for granted, having the luxury of having it every day. So I've a little bit more reflected in that regards, just being appreciative of everything that I've been blessed with. So more that reflection.
I don't know if I can speak for Niele as well, but I learned that I probably should have learned how to cook a long time ago.
Same. Same. Yeah. Same. Oh my gosh. I was expecting to have a chef today, but Chef Ivey around here. So
I think it's like cooking, learning, just realizing like how spoiled we are as it's not even a generation thing, like nails, your upkeep of your hair, it's a struggle.
That's so bad.
Absolute struggle. Yeah, I'm giving you all my quarantine ponytail. Yes, it's a struggle to keep up. It is a struggle.
You look good though.
The struggle is
good. We are going to get through it. We're going to make it. We're all in this together. We've heard that, several times, but we truly are. Niele and Kelcey, I want to thank you guys just for joining us for this edition of 3 Point Stands presented by Mountain Dew. Just a way to just cap off Women's Month and just to celebrate the month that was. I know it's been a difficult month. So as an organization, as Grind City Media, our thoughts and our prayers are with everybody. And we just pray that everyone stays healthy, stay home, social distance, and we're in this together.
Absolutely. Thank you, guys. For me, it's always great just to see so many wonderful women and powerful women. You guys both are so talented. And it's always great to see you guys. So I miss y'all. So thank you for having me.
Hope to see you guys soon.
Let's do a virtual happy hour or like
what?
We should do a virtual happy hour, like type of a cooking class. Just
happy hour.
Yes,
that'd be great. Kelcey, you have to leave the house to get groceries though, unless you got so we can do our virtual cooking class.
That would be hilarious.
All right, bye.
Bye. Stay safe.